for me to call. Look, love, we've given up believing. We've turned aside our stories of the gentle fall. But don't you believe them? Don't you drink their poison too? These are the scars that words have carved on me. Hey love, that's the name we've long held back from the core of truth. This is the same place. No, not the same place. This is the same place, love. No, not the same place we've been before. This is the fate you've carved on me. Your law of gravity. This is the fate you've carved on me. Last summer I got to tour in Asia for the first time, in part thanks to the Ballins actually. So I reached out to the Ballins over the internets, and because they seemed to be a duo that was playing really cool music and also was touring in China, which was not something that I've seen a lot of bands do, especially independent musicians. And so they were very sweet. They responded and said, like, yeah, sure, we'd love to do some shows together and set up some shows together. And that was the way that I ended up being able to perform in China and in Hong Kong. And so it was a pretty amazing trip. And they took me out to lots of really cheap, really great food rather late at night. There was one epic hot pot evening that went on for about 4 hours. So one of the other things that was really interesting about touring in Asia was, I'd never been there before, but I really had no idea what to expect. It's like, well, I could maybe set up in the corner of a cafe and maybe 10 people might show up. I don't know. And it was really surprising to see the folks who came out and the stories that they had to tell about their relationship to some of the songs that they had stumbled upon. And so I'm going to play two for you that were requested over there in Asia as well as tonight, and so I'm kind of linking these stories. This is a song that I wrote when I was about 19, and it was, another straight-up relationship, exploring what was going on kind of song. And I wrote it and sent it out there, and apparently it's made a lot of friends for people who are kind of at maybe not like literally 19, but at that sort of moment when you realize you're about to become the next version of yourself, and the people who happen to be there with you in that moment, what the indelible mark that their presence leaves with you. And so I heard a lot of pretty amazing stories about relationships like that. And so tonight I sing it for all of those friendships, relationships, all that love that still floats out there somewhere. Strange how inside me I measure the time and I stand amazed. Strange how I know inside you my hand is outstretched toward the damp of the haze. And of course I forgive. I've seen how you live, like a phoenix you rise from the ashes. You pick up the pieces and the ghost in the attic they never quite leave. And of course I forgive. You've seen how I live. I've got darkness and fears to appease. My voices and analogies, ambitions are like ribbons worn bright on my sleeve. Strange how we know each other. Strange how I fit into you. There's a distance erased with the greatest of ease. Strange how you fit into me, a gentle warmth filling the deepest of needs. And with each passing day, the stories we say draw us tighter into our addiction, confirm our convictions that some kind of miracle passed on our heads. And how I am sure, like never before, of my reasons for defense. Strange how certain the journey. Time unfolds the petals for our eyes to see. Strange how this journey is hurting in ways we accept as part of fate's decree. So we just hold on fast, acknowledge the past as the lessons exquisitely crafted, painstakingly drafted to carve us as instruments that play the music alive. For we don't realize our faith in the prize unless it's been somehow elusive. How swiftly we choose it, the sacred simplicity of you at my This is another song I don't play too often. And it was requested by a gentleman in Japan when I was playing in Japan. I played at a place called Cafe Goti in Kamakura, which is a little beach town, I guess, seaside town close to Tokyo. And it was a tiny little cafe where I was basically playing this upright piano facing this one wall, and then the audience basically sat in like 3 rows behind me. And it was like the room was about the size of a bedroom. It was pretty amazing how many people they fit in there. And so it was a very intimate evening. And this one guy asked for the song Pontchartrain, and I asked him later why what particular reason he had for asking for it. And he said, well, he was in the, I think the Army Reserve or the National Guard, and so at a particular, he'd served in the military, but then also was on reserve, in the reserves, and when Hurricane Katrina hit, he went down to New Orleans to help out, and what he saw there definitely stayed with him for, the rest of his life, really. And so for some reason, as he traveled to Japan and started to make his new life there, he often thought back to, what does it mean to really help other people? What does it really mean to, arrive somewhere before it's too late? And that thought had followed him all the way across the world, and he was still thinking about it, still trying to figure out his place in answering that question. And so that really struck me and stayed with me. And so tonight I'm singing it for that new friend that I made in Japan that night, as well as my dear friend Fred, who asked for it this evening. So this is called Pontchartrain. Dark water draining off the heat, that everyone sees. Darling, Lake Pontchartrain is haunted, bones without names, photographs framed in reeds. Darling, and the blood our veins are holding the overpass frozen.